Today we drink Xiang Shui Bai Cha, probably the most eclectic of all white teas. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from Nanoshan and this is
Mauzi.
And we are here to share with you our pleasure to drink and discovering genuine farm tea. It is indeed a discovery tea today, one of the latest tea that we have sourced this year just because before shipping everything over to China. One of our tea taster had the tea and just sent me a picture and told me, Gabriele, just buy it. Usually they give me indication about the taste. In this case, they simply say, just buy this tea. Okay, so I say, okay. It was a little bit pricey. I think it goes for 33 euro for 50 gram, or about kind of the same, maybe 35, something like that, US dollar for 50 grams. And it is very peculiar because it has these small but thick buds, right?
Yeah.
That are greenish, but there is also...
There's a lot of purple and red in there.
Yes, there is a lot of purple and red in there. Yeah. And that's because it is a specific cultivar, actually, that grows in Yunnan, that has this purple color given by anthocyanin, which is a molecule that is present in tea, but in this specific tea is up to 20 times the amount usually found in other cultivars. So much that even the name of the cultivar takes the word purple in it. It starts with zse, which means purple color, and then continue like you see it on the screen. It's a very long name, but yeah, that's the name of the cultivar. And let's brew it. I'll do like this. How many grams?
Let's make 3 and
3?
then
Okay.
some longer steeps.
Okay. We do 3 grams. I'll make a little bit longer steeps. I made a bit more. Okay. Yeah. 3.2. I think that's fine, right?
At home I have a similar one, but with very even bigger buds and very white.
Right, in that case is the same type of bud but from a different cultivar basically.
Okay.
So it's a relatively common type of white tea in Yunnan, not super widespread, but you can find it also around in other shops. This is the specific purple color. We sourced the tea from a farmer, or actually is a few farmers that go picking the leaves in a forest at an altitude. It comes from one of the 3 Dashueshan big snow mountains of Yunnan, the one near Bangdong, and it grows at about 3,000 meters of altitude.
Wow.
Not bad. What temperature we have?
97.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, this tea, you can brew it at any temperature. I don't even rinse it because it's so fresh and it grows so high.
And is it like typical just for Yunnan to make these kind of tea?
Yeah, I've seen it only there actually. I mean, of course, you have bad tea, also white tea from like...
yeah, but these super thick buds I've never seen somewhere else.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, let's wait a little bit. It's such a unique taste. I never had something like that, and yeah, it doesn't come only from that specific mountain, right? It's a tea that you can, as a cultivar, is a plant that you can find also in other forests. It's usually wild, so it means that not that it grew by itself there. Yeah, that can also be, but maybe back in the days some trees were planted
and they forgot it.
And they just let them grow. So it takes a lot of time to harvest it. You have really to go into the forest, walk, find a tree here, a tree there. Are very tall trees, are really massive trees, and yeah, it takes some time actually to to collect the leaves. And yeah, I mean, I think we were lucky in having such a high mountain tea for this specific one, because that also makes a difference, right, where it grows. Even in Yunnan at 3,000 meters is kind of a different climate than down in the valley. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's still 3,000 meters. So even if it is a tropical region, you have a completely different climate up there. And this also means that, of course, it's in the forest, so the leaves are, the trees are not treated anyway, they're not pruned, and they don't need to use pesticides or anything. But the fact that it grows at an altitude make it even easier, because, for example, pests or flies, insects.
No one wants to go there. Not even the insects.
Not even the insects, yeah. And look how clear the color is. It's yeah, it's very pale. We have left it for maybe a minute or so, yeah. Longer, and it's
some hairs.
Yeah, there are some hairs from the bud. Yeah. Want to smell the lid?
Oh. I'm not saying anything yet. Maybe you can guess it.
It's so addictive. It's really so addictive.
It reminds me of something specific, like if you cut wood, the sawmill, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like if you enter in a sawmill where there is a lot of sawdust around, you have these. It's a very characteristic smell, and you have it in this tea. Now it doesn't to be understood as something negative, because it is a tiny bit. It's not like overwhelming like when you really enter into a sawmill, but it's something I really had only in this tea. And on top of that, is very fragrant, like a piece of wood or.
And a bit of maybe cherry, some red.
Yes, there is.
Red
yes, cherry there is. Yeah, like it's, well, let's taste it. It's only the second time I'm having this tea. We had it with Isul some days ago. So it has. I would say, to me, this very first brew is more fruity. Cherry just hit the spot. So it's just because you say they wouldn't have come up with that, but yes, it is.
It's a bit like cherry juice.
Like a cherry juice, yeah, very much actually. I think when I tasted it with Isul, I mentioned strawberries, but cherry is more appropriate, yeah. So now you have the sawdust, basically wood powder, yeah.
It's like sweet wood.
Sweet wood. On top of that, you add a layer of juicy cherry nectar. Yeah. None of these is overwhelming. So it's not a saturated tea. It's everything just, how can I say? It's like a perfume. In fact, that's the name of the tea. Xiang Shui, fragrance, water, as a single word means perfume in Chinese. And like a very light perfume, it's very present.
Like what I would describe it is, if you flash brew this very fresh Tiguanyan, like the very floral one, and you just flash brew it. It's very light in texture and has this slight florality.
Yeah.
This is like this with the cherry on top.
With the light texture is the point, so it's not bold.
No.
Yeah, it's very light but very intense at the same time.
You want to go again?
Yeah. And you see how this bud grows, and you can have a look at this one here. I'll try to show it here, this camera. and it is many actually buds. It's a peculiar kind of sprouting, right?
It started growing, but
yeah, and then was stopped. And these come out directly from the main wie sagt man?
string? No.
I can miss the word now in English.
Like from the stick.
Yeah, from the not from the trunk, but from the stems, basically. Yeah. I'll show a picture that's easier to understand. Actually, you don't really need. I really suggest doing this at 100 degrees. Actually, you get a lot of those aroma coming out. Doesn't turn bitter. I mean, unless you leave it there forever, of course. I guess. Something I'm very good at.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that.
People forget, especially when I have here in the studio so much to do.
You forgot two brews yesterday.
That's why I use just little leaves, so I can still save it. It was harvested over multiple days in March, this tea. I said you just get a little quantity. The batch we got, very little batch, unfortunately, was harvested on the 20th of March. And they just sent us over everything they got that day. That's pretty straightforward. You know what? I mean, we have spoken about sawdust and fruitiness. It has also some floral note. And it's difficult when it's about flowers to pinpoint what specific flower it is. So the description online was written by Zul. So if you want to follow her perception of the tea, is out there. I don't remember actually all the details of what she wrote. Something I associate this tea with is rose water. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, in Morocco it's fairly common. So when I was traveling there, you would have shops that had a bunch of these pinky rose petals, and they had like a tool in which they would put in the roses and cook water, pass cooked water through the roses petal, and then you get this rose water that is very light, as you mentioned before, in texture, but has this perfume-like smell. Yeah.
And do other regions do that as well, like in Yunnan?
Yeah, I said I'm pretty sure there are other places where they have this tea. Is always wild harvested, also because the word wild is actually in the Ye Cha, wild tea, is in the name of the cultivar, so it's really part of it. So probably nowadays no one cultivates it. It's just
it's a variety.
Yeah, it's just a variety. Easy to recognize. So yes, there are other places for sure that have that. It's just there might not be so many gardens at 3,000 meters. Let's call it garden. It's actually a forest having it. But it's also, I don't have a comparison. I haven't tried, that's the only tea I had. I haven't tried other tea from this cultivar, this variety that were grown in a different environment. So it's difficult to say. Very refreshing. Is a summer tea. Is one of the tea that I suggest buying sooner than later if you are into this type of taste, because it's a good match for the summer. I don't see it much as a winter tea.
No.
And it might change quite quickly. We don't know it yet, how quick the leaves will further oxidize, but this tea is actually, the processing is very simple. So as every white tea, it goes through a withering phase and then is dried. In China, in fooding, you have the traditional drying under the sun. Here, I mean, if I'm think about how they do tea in Yunnan, is more likely actually forced, dry, hot air, and they just dry it with hot air. But this means that it hasn't been dried at a very high temperature, so it will continue evolving, and it might becoming thicker in texture, which I don't know. I prefer it light.
Me too.
Yeah.
Better to drink fresh than anything else.
And we have just little amount, so I know it's expensive, but you know, that's how the tea is. But you can get a lot of brew. You see, we are brewing here with 3 grams, and is a tea that has a lot to give. So I think that by the cup, since you do so many brews, it might be actually be cheaper than teas that are cheaper on paper.
I think you can really make big volumes at the same time and just put it in the fridge maybe.
Ah, yeah, like cold brew. Yeah.
Or maybe just keep it hot and drink it over the whole day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, if guests come, no one will hate this. It's like, it's typical for a white tea that no one really hates it, I think.
Yes. So also, if you have friends that are a little beginner into tea, that's...
and this is even more beginner friendly, I think.
Even kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think kids would love this.
Oh.
Yeah, because it doesn't have any astringency, any bitterness, is fragrant. I have to try. Next week I have my nephews coming over. I'll take a little bit of this tea home, and let's see if they like them. If they like it. And we have 2 other very fresh white tea online. There is more. We have sourced many white tea this year, but we hurried up putting 3 online. This one, the Xiaomei 2023, that might be even fresher than last year's. Compare the pictures, they are both online, the pictures at least, of the Xiaomei 2022 and 2023, done with the same camera, with the same lighting. We always use the same setup, and both done when we first received the tea. The 2022 was photographed 1 year ago. Compare those pictures and you will see that the 2023 is even greener, even fresher. And then we have, thanks to Gabriel that requested it, Gabriel from the Discord, link in the description below if you want to join our Discord community. We had many customers and many friends that on Discord were involved. Actually, everyone could be involved in the sourcing. So for example, Mauzi has contributed, asking different teas. Gabriel has contributed, asking different teas.
A lot of different teas.
Yeah. And dozens of you have contributed as well. So we did our best to follow your suggestion. And Gabriel wanted a white tea, actually a Baihao Ingen from Taimoshan. Was a hard search, but we found it and it's online. As you know, Taimoshan, extremely expensive, but is... I would say I would call that tea the essence of Baihao Ingen. Is so light, even paler than this one in color.
It's like water.
It's like water. It's like water. It's like tasty, pure water. Yeah.
That reminds me, I once pranked my girlfriend. I gave her hot water and told her it's white tea.
Yes. All right. It's a working day in the studio, so we took a break to enjoy a tea, and now it's time to pack tea, prepare orders, and so on and so forth. I hope you liked the video. We will probably in the next months bring out a few more insight reviews of our new teas, and I hope you liked it. And stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe if you enjoy what you're watching, and don't forget to give us a like, because it's a lot of motivation for us that comes from your likes, and also we get a better ranking on YouTube, so it means you're spreading the word of tea by simply liking this video.
And also, if you want to help sourcing TEAWARE, come to the Discord.
Right, so link in the description below. Discord is a community online. You just have to click the link. You can download the app on your computer or on your phone, and you have like 500 at the moment, I think, tea lovers that discuss all things tea, not only Nanoshan related. Yeah, Everyone is free to talk whatever they want. There are even other vendors on our on our Discord channel. Everyone is welcome, and there is a big session where you can make your suggestion for the next sourcing. Very soon we will start sourcing TEAWARE, so if there is any wish you have, you just put it in there and we will consider and do our best to source that for you.
I will have some suggestions.
I know. All right. Bye guys.
See ya.
See you next time.